We've had this relationship with RMIT for now 6 years, and it's grown from lots and lots of small things into this really flourishing partnership now with lots of projects and initiatives.
Yeah, and look, I think the really interesting thing is whilst the partnership is grounded in media, it has certainly, we've seen, extend into all manner of areas across the university. And I think it really suggests quite an expanded remit around this idea of the moving image.
And something like the Audience Lab, that began as a side project, an experimental project, and now it's flourished into this massive public program. It's been fascinating to see.
And the genesis of the Audience Lab was really a digital artist, Aaron Verhagen, thinking about the idea of four-dimensional cinema, and him saying, well, how do I get people to understand this? You might get this relationship between movement and someone's experience versus what's playing up on the screen, and what those two things actually bring together.
We've done a lot of work around video games. So we have the Games Prize now for the best final year student, and that prize enables the student not only to get some cash to work on their game, but also to work with collaborators and others.
One of my favourite bits of Open Day at RMIT is when you see the presentation of the games program and someone standing on the stage starts talking about the contribution that games makes to the Victorian economy, talking about serious games and the social contribution that games can make, the really valid forms of cultural contribution that it makes. The leverage that we get by being alongside ACMI is to give us an incredibly contemporary view about the moving image and screen culture that really reinforces how this as a cultural product needs to be placed more into a public realm.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, some of those projects too, like 64 Ways of Being, that launched with us as a node for the public, and that project spreading out across the city.
Yeah, and I think the really interesting thing about Troy Innocent's work is the manner in which he is trying to take these devices that are embedded in our pockets on an everyday basis and kind of make them useful, make them experimental, make people think about doing other things with them.
And I think also the research methods to come up with ways of observing that and also evolving our own practices. And it's all, as we've seen in the last 2 years now, up for massive, rapid kind of change, and requires partnerships beyond our own walls.
I think we both have a core responsibility now to bring people back into the city, to offer reasons why people would come back into the dynamic environment that exists in Melbourne. What might it be like if you were actually engaging back out in the world, and what does that look like?